Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. I'm visiting you again, and this is what I'm wearing today. My shin hoodie and my shin dress, fall dress that I'm still enjoying. So let me take my hoodie off to show you the green turtleneck dress. This is a nice dress for the fall. Yeah, not quite warm enough for me. It's not exactly a sweater dress. It's thinner than a sweater, but it's still pretty warm. If I layer it with a hoodie, and I got my hat on, so I'm gonna start wearing hats again, cause I stay cold and having a hat on just keeps me warmer. So here's the dress. My tummy's big. Pose for the thumbnail. Do a few poses for the thumbnail. Try to be straight. Okay. Yeah, lovely green dress, dark green, kind of conservative color. Yeah. It's a nice conservative color, not too flashy. I don't like to dress too flashy. I like to just blend in with the crowd, you know? And I guess that's why I choose neutral colors. Okay. Hoodie goes back on because I'm cold. And it actually looks good with a hoodie too. So now we can visit. I'm gonna read Adam's comment because his comments always inspire me. Okay. So here's your comment, Adam. Adam recently read an article about a phenomenon called terminal lucidity that was very interesting. It's when someone who is near death suddenly becomes responsive and briefly seems like themselves again for a short time. Sorry I can't talk fast, you guys. Chronic fatigue or some, I don't know what it is. Even people with dementia who had forgotten their past and couldn't even recognize close family members suddenly get their memories back and know who their families are again. It's like a miracle where they become themselves again and say goodbye properly. There are a lot of stories from people who have witnessed this and were amazed is really fascinating. Yeah, so that's Adam's comment. And it got me thinking, yeah, Adam, especially hospice nurses, witness this a lot since they are there with the patient right before they transition. And then there are many accounts of family members and hospice nurses saying that patients would be who are having dementia, suffering from dementia, don't even recognize who their family are, suddenly becomes themselves again. Suddenly they wake up and they recognize family. And they would also say that they see angels or they see a loved one who had already transitioned. And it reminds me of a lady in a podcast. I don't remember the details of her NDE. NDE stands for near-death experience. And so I don't remember anything about her story, but I remember this. I remember her face. She's a blonde lady. I think she was a doctor. She might have been a physician. And I remember she was so much fun to listen to because she had a very bubbly, entertaining personality. She's funny and entertaining. And the way she speaks, the way she recounts a story, the way she mocks her dad, you know, and speaks just like him. It's just so funny. And I just remember enjoying listening to her. And actually, I remember her face too. I don't remember her name. But I remember this. She said her own father, her dad, used to be a preacher, a minister, Christian minister of a church. And he would call her Sugar when she was little. Sugar, Sugar. You know, he would just call her Sugar. That's his nickname for her. And I thought that was so cute. You know, he's a loving dad. And he would say, Sugar, do you know this? Hey, Sugar, do you know this? Let me tell you something, Sugar. Okay? And he would say things like that. But at the end of his life, he did become unresponsive and he also had dementia. He couldn't recognize her or his wife anymore. And he was about to transition, something terminal. Don't remember what it was. I don't remember it was cancer or something else. But during the days or weeks leading up to it, or months leading up to it, he was unresponsive and couldn't communicate with them. He didn't remember who he was, who they were. And, well, a few days maybe before he transitioned, he suddenly woke up and he turned to his wife who was sitting at his bedside, and suddenly he remembered her. And then the daughter walked in and he remembered her. So he remembered family all of a sudden. And all of a sudden he could communicate. And then all of a sudden he said, Helen. Helen is his wife's name, I believe, sitting next to him at the bedside. He said, oh, there's mom, there's mother. So during his lucid moment, he saw his mother who had already transitioned. So she was there waiting for him and waiting to greet him when he transitions. And that's very common for loved ones to be the first to come get you when you transition. Sometimes it will be angels, sometimes it will be spirit guides, sometimes they will just appear in heaven by themselves. Sometimes there will be a tunnel, sometimes no tunnel, they're just suddenly there. Everybody's experience is a little bit unique, a little bit different, though also there are a lot of similarities. But in his case, he hadn't transitioned yet. And in his lucid moment, he saw his mother who had transitioned. And he wasn't surprised because she was a good woman. And, she was Christian, so he expected her to be there. She said, there's mother. And he was smiling. Her mother was there. His mother was there waiting for him, alive and well, on the other side. And then suddenly he looked at a different place and he said, oh, there's father. Oh, he's here too. And then he turned to his wife and said, Helen, I have it all wrong, because he didn't expect his father to be there too. Apparently, he was not a good person and he was not Christian, so he didn't expect his dad to be there. But his dad was there, and you know, and he said he told his wife he had it all wrong, and which implies that you don't need to be a Christian to go to heaven. A lot of you guys are going to disagree with me. All you who are Christians, I came from a Christian background too, but I have become more open to the experiences of people who have gone to heaven even though they weren't Christians during their near-death experience. So they experienced God, they experienced heaven. Some of them are atheists. Some of them are of other faiths, like Hindus and whatever. And yeah, so there's some truth in what they say that all of us get to go. You don't have to be a Christian to go. I don't think you can be like really dark, evil, and commit crimes and hurt people and go, because the medical medium also said if you lived a very dark life and you chose crime, you hurt people in your lifetime, actually you turn into devils, demons, really. No, you don't go in that case. In that case, your soul actually chose to go to hell, and you become a demon. That's what the medical medium said. But for those atheists who were harmless, or people who are in other faiths who were harmless to other people, who were still kind to other people, or at least harmless, maybe not kind, but certainly not harmful to other people, didn't commit crimes, and just didn't hurt people, they get to go too. And also in just about all Indies, yeah, God never said, go back and be a Christian, go back and be a preacher. God just said, go back and love people. Go back and tell them there is no death. Yeah. And actually, I remember this same lady, maybe it was the same lady, maybe it was somebody else, but whoever it was said that during her transition, now she came back to tell about it. She got out of her body during her near-death experience and witnessed heaven and everything. But then she was sent back, or she chose to come back, or she didn't have a choice. I don't remember. They say that a lot of them say that going back into the body is like going back into an old coat. It's restrictive. And leaving the body is like just stepping out of a nasty, dirty coat. And that's all it is. She said, just like stepping out of your old clothes, that's all. And they say that there is no death. And actually, in one experience, it was a man. I remember who it was. I can still see his face, though, and I can still remember his experience because I actually heard it about 2 or 3 times. He had a very detailed experience in heaven, a very human-like experience where he saw buildings that looked like Greek structures with huge columns, huge ancient buildings. He saw castles. He saw huge buildings. But at the end of his ND, he saw Jesus. So he saw a figure. The figure turned, and it was Jesus. And Jesus said to him, tell them there is no death. And with that, next thing he knew, he was back in his body. I think he had an asthma issue, so he had a bad case of asthma or something where he couldn't breathe, or the nighttime, what you call when you can't breathe at night, that condition. Yeah, where you stop breathing when you fall asleep. There's a condition like that. He had something like that. And, yeah. And Jesus said, tell them there is no death. He wasn't given a choice if he wants to come back or not. He was just back in his body when it was time for him to come back. But, yeah. Transient lucidity. I hear it a lot when I listen to the indie podcasts. So, and because I've been listening to Jeff Mara, nothing's a surprise to me anymore. You can tell me anything about ETs. I don't like to listen to the ones about demons or hell. Yeah, but there's been a few of those too. But most of them came back and said, there was no hell, believing there's no hell, saying there is no hell. But, according to the very, very few, they experienced hell. But I think 99% of them didn't. 99% of the people, Christian and non-Christian both, even atheists, experience heaven of some kind, and it's so comforting. To me, it takes a lot of fear because I come from a Christian background. I'm going to put this down, the tablet. And Christianity is very fear-based. The fear of hell, of going to hell, is always looming. The fear that if you don't accept Jesus, you don't get saved and you don't get to go to heaven. But according to these NDEs, you can live your life without fear, and you are just here for the human experience. They say, well, you're here for a lot of reasons. For some of them, it's just to have the human experience. And I believe that's me. I came here for the human experience, both the good, the bad, the ugly. Some people say they come here and, they have a harsh life with childhood abuse and a lot of pain and suffering, childhood suffering. I had loving parents, so these people had, who had a lot of suffering, they say their purpose was to grow their soul, because when you go through a lot of suffering like that, childhood suffering, abuse, your soul will grow faster. They say the more hardships and more suffering and pain you go through in life, the more your soul will expand and grow as a result. So, yeah. Some say, now these are the souls that are enlightened, who can see angels, demons, ETs, and everything else. Some of them even see fairies, so apparently they're all real. Some of them see spirits who have already transitioned, who didn't go to the light. Some see ghosts. I want to see any of those. I just want to see angels. But they were saying if you want to see angels, you probably will see all of the rest too, because they are all in the, they are all, you're probably going to see all of them, the good, bad, and the ugly. You won't just see angels, most probably, because the medical medium has seen almost all of them. He's seen, okay? He said, okay, so he's seen angels, he's seen demons, he's seen ETs, and he's seen ghosts. So he's seen them all, the good, bad, and the ugly. Yeah, so apparently if you see angels, you might see the demons sometimes too. Because, that's the spirit world. The spirit world, not all spirits are good like the angels. And I think not all ETs are good either. I think they said that ETs are like us people, some good, some bad. And yeah, and they have free will too. So some of them choose good, some of them choose evil. But yeah. But yeah, transient lucidity, that's fascinating. And especially when during their transient lucidity, they already see the other side. They already see the angels waiting for them. They already see who's going to be the ones taking them home to the other side, and it's such a comfort. Me, I hope I go in my sleep. Well, you know what? To go during surgery is also great too. When I had to have those 2 emergency surgeries to save my life, um, once they put that medication in me, I was out like a light. And, to go during surgery, that would be very merciful. It'll be like, okay, yeah, put me to sleep. And next thing I know, I'm in heaven. I wouldn't mind that. But leading up to the surgery, I wouldn't like that. I don't want to be like sick or anything. I want to just go in my sleep peacefully, my sleep at home, perfectly healthy, and just go to bed and suddenly I'm there. That's how I want to go. I don't even want to have to go to a nursing home. I know y'all feel the same too. Yeah. Well, what's going on in my life? Well, the bathtub is in. My week off is coming to an end. I had a week off, you guys, so I have my bathtub replaced. I still need drywall. The bathroom's not finished yet. Where they cut about the tile wall, where they had to cut it off. There's a gap there, up there, where I'm gonna need drywall. I need some baseboards. I need a handyman to come do those. The house numbers all faded. I need them to replace those numbers on the mailbox post and on my house. And I need my windows resealed for the winter. Yeah, cost quite a bit of money. I'm going with a new company, which I regret, because this new company, it wanted 50% deposit, which I already paid. Y'all think it's too late for me to get my money back? Can I just call them and say, can you refund me the money back on my card? Because I changed my mind and I'd like to get another quote. Because I think they're actually more expensive than the company I used to use. And the company I used to use, I don't have to pay them till they finish their job. I only went this new company because it was in the top picks in the book, you know? So it has a very good reputation. But I should have just gone with the old company. I think that would have been a lot cheaper. And they don't expect payment till they're done. So I regret it. I don't know, you guys. Maybe I should just, I guess what's done is done. I was just gonna let it go. And now I gotta wait till next month for them to come. Yeah. What do you all think? Well, I'm gonna let you go. It's 33 minutes, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful week, and enjoy your week. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I just woke up. So, excuse me for speaking in slow motion and moving in slow motion. Everything I'm doing is in slow motion. Sorry. I can't speak fast anymore. My body's detoxing. I'm still eating like a medical medium. Okay. So, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.